Okay, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to video number 6. Today I'm going to be talking about 20 things to do when you have art block. And I separated them into like 3 different categories because I feel like there's 3 different types of art block. Of, yeah, of like there's when you have a lack of creativity, but you can still draw. And then there's also when you just have a lack of skill, but like you have ideas still and like you are still being creative. And then there's also like the combination of both where you have no creativity and you seem to have no skill either. Okay, and so the first one is lack of creativity. This is the first like group that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, and in this section that I have, it has 6 things. Okay, so the first thing that I'd suggest you doing is go search up like an incorrect quote generator. Okay, and then you like put all your characters' names in there, and then you generate it, and you draw a little scene. Because then it's like you don't have to have a ton of creativity to do that. Okay, number 2 is draw someone else's character, because then you don't have to like come up with the idea necessarily, and it's fun and it's new. I love drawing other people's characters. Art fight is so much fun. Okay, and then number 3 is look through old sketchbooks. Just like go through an old sketchbook with sticky notes and like tab all the pages that you're like, oh, I really like that idea, but I could like, oh, I forgot the word. I could execute it better now. That's the word. Number 4 is draw animals from memory and then draw them with a reference and like give yourself a time limit. I would suggest setting a timer so that you're not like trying to be perfectionistic about it. Okay, and then number 5 is make a zine. They're really easy to make. There's not a lot of pressure, and you can kind of just do whatever. Like, make a zine on a topic that you really like, or just make a zine about one of your characters. That would be really fun. Okay, 6 is to do line of action studies, because then you don't have to like think, you don't have to come up with the idea. It's just there, like they give you the idea. Okay, my next section is lack of skill, which only has 4 items. I think I accidentally put some of the items for this one into the lack of creativity. That's okay, because I'm not going back to fix it. Okay, so with lack of skill, first thing I would suggest, go write lore. If you want, I might do like another video where I talk about like the easiest way to, like for me, where I write down lore, just so that I remember it and like the format that I do. Okay, and then the second thing that I would suggest if you have like a lack of skill is draw something ugly on purpose. Like create a really, really ugly character who's just like, and just make them as ugly as possible. Or draw your enemy. It's really fun, trust me. I love doing that. Okay. And then number 3 that I would suggest for lack of skill is try like a new medium or one that you haven't tried in a really long time, because that takes off some of the pressure of making good art. Because it's like, oh, well, I haven't like painted in a really long time, or I've never painted. And so there isn't like this pressure of like, oh, you need to be good, because like, oh, I've never done this before. If I'm bad, it's okay. Okay, and then number 4 is do like a cardboard craft, because a lot of times they're really easy and they turn out decent. The last group that I have is when you either have a creativity block or a skills block, or even both at the same time, because sometimes that happens. Okay, 1, go do origami. I love origami. I never do it though. It used to be something that I would do a lot of origami when I was a kid, and then I just stopped. And it's really fun, and you don't have to really be super skilled. right? Because you can choose an origami thing based on the level of skill that you are at origami, and then it tells you what to do, so you don't have to be creative. Okay, number 2 is redraw old drawings because you don't have to come up with the idea. And because you're redrawing a really old drawing, you're bound to see improvement. Okay, number 3 is coloring pages. I love coloring pages. Bonus points if you color with crayons. It's just really fun and it like fills that desire of making art, but you don't have to have the skill. And you can use any medium to color a coloring page. Like I've done coloring pages with like oil pastels, and it's grand fun. Okay, number 4 is make paper dolls of your OCs. They don't have to be good, and it's fun. And then you get to be like, oh, I get to make them a whole ton of outfits, and it's super duper fun. Number 5 is create like a silly doodle character, or if you already have a silly doodle character, just like draw an entire page of them because it's fun and they're easy to draw. You could get like a random thing generator to generate ideas if you so desire. Number 6 is you can also trace stuff. It's allowed as long as you don't like steal credit for it and you credit the people. 7 is like find good music and just doodle about like how it makes you feel. Or and like let the music guide you, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, okay, 8. I think this one would be really fun in a group. Okay, so number 8 is you watch a show and you set a timer for X amount of minutes. It could be like 10 or 30 or like however long you want, right? Okay, and every time the timer goes off, you pause the show that you're watching, the movie or whatever, and you draw the scene as fast as you can so that you can unpause the movie. Okay, number 9 in this section is to make stickers. And you can use like a random things generator. Like I said before, they're great to like help like boost creativity. Okay, and with making stickers, you can just get like the shipping label paper at like Walmart or wherever. I don't think it's too expensive, but I bought like 1,000 of them last time I did, which was like years ago, so I don't know how they're priced anymore. I don't think they're too expensive, and then you just draw on those and you cut them out, and then you have stickers. Okay, and then the last thing that I have to suggest that you do when you're art blocked is to just like make a random scribble, right? And then you create a character out of the scribble, or like a creature or whatever, right? You could even have someone else do a random scribble for you if you feel like your own scribbles are too biased. Yeah. And that's all I have. I could probably come up with more, but oh well. Yeah. I hope some of these help. Thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting me. I love you guys all so much. Um, I'll see you next Wednesday. Toodles.